again, very good evening to all of you, and I'm happy to see all of us here safe and sound, gathered together again. And today, before I start the mundo the teaching, I would just like to share a message from Holiness website, Super Falls website. Holiness, has many messages, but there's one message, which I thought was very, very what you call it, essence of his message, and which should be very beneficial for all of us.
各位师兄晚安。然后说呢，很高兴的呢，又再次在这边和大家呢见面。那么今天呢，在开始在讲授释迦行之前呢，那首先呢，法王要跟大家分享一个他在主巴法王的网站上面呢有一个消息呢，那他觉得这个消息呢可以是非常的精要，能够呢可以跟大家一起分享。
He said in his message that we as a practitioner, or we as someone who is knowing Dharma, we should we should not be falling into the the eight worldly kind of eight worldly thoughts, eight worldly traps, you might say, which is like if you get something, some wealth, or I don't know, something which you want, you feel extremely happy about it, attached about it. If you don't get, you feel very sad about it. If you And then if you find something happy, something little bit, something give you happiness, you feel so excited about it. You feel like wow, this is something so great and so much extreme, sort of excitement, extreme attachment. And then the opposite, when you don't get what you want, the happiness, extreme kind of disappointment. Then when you get and when you hear some good sound or good music or something very nice, extreme attachment. If you don't hear something very bad and something you don't like, extreme dislike. I'm using the word extreme. Then when people praise you, you like. When people don't praise you, you don't feel so happy. So what he's always saying is that when you are hearing something very nice, or when you get something very nice, if you are very strongly attached to it, then when these things are separated from you, again you will feel very sad, very disappointed, and then because and then when you have something great suffering, let's say for example, you are going through a very let's say, I'll give example to make it easy to understand. For example, let's say we are going through a very hot place, for example, very sunny, very hot, and then if we feel hot, then on top of that, and if we get saying, I really hate this heat, I feel terrible, why did I come to this place, this country, I really hate it, then you feel more and more stress, more and more pain, so that is just example. That can be applied to any sort of suffering, so what it means is, so how we should be taking it is, when there's a lot of good things comes also, we should be happily appreciating it, but without being extremely attached to it, because anyway the nature of everything is by nature impermanent, so there's nothing to be really extremely excited and attached about it. And when the suffering come also, it is also the nature impermanent. It will also be changing into something else. Yesterday, a few days before, we were also worried about the, the typhoon and all this, And now again, it has changed. Now it is slowly going away, So again, suffering is also changed. And the main thing is, I think, that suffering, especially the mental kind of suffering, more you sort of, give it, more you, even if the pain is actual pain, for example, if it's a physical pain, if you have a cut on your body, if actual pain is, let's say, little bit, maybe you feel, but when your mind, says, I'm feeling so much pain, I cannot bear it, you feel more and more pain, And when you next time, we can check easily, when you feel a cut or something on your hand, instead of sort of overreacting, if you just calm down, and sort of relax and see, where the pain is, actually you automatically feel that the pain is very much little bit, not so much, and immediately the pain goes down. In a similar way, we sometimes we have like something big suffering come into our life, then we think about it more and more. We think about it, we imagine something, we add up imagination. We ourselves we make more and more suffering. So that is the what holiness is telling us not to do. Because as the holiness always told me many times that whenever he looks at the people, other people, he feels very sad, because actually it is because people cannot control their own mind, understand their own mind. That's why they are going through so much suffering, even when it is not necessary to do so. So I think this is the essence of this message, that I wanted to share with you.
在网站上面呢，觉巴法王他的开始是说呢，那么一般对于我们这些所谓的修行人或者是知道佛法的人来讲的话呢，应该要做到八风吹不动的这样子的状况。那么一般的来讲的话呢，我们是对于说我们喜欢的事情，当我们意识到说这个是我们喜欢的事情的时候呢，往往我们会升起执着的心。那么如果我们的事情呢发展的非常的顺遂，如我们所愿的时候呢，我们非常高兴呢，反而也落入了这个过于执着于这种高兴喜悦的这种状况。那如果是说呢，事情呢是不如我们所愿的，是非但不如我们所愿的，那我们就落入失望的状况里面呢。那除了是升起不欢喜的心之外呢，有时候呢也过于偏执在这个不高兴的这样状况里面。像这样子呢，落于这样子两端，过于高兴或者是过于悲伤的，或者不喜欢的这样的情形呢，像这样两端两直的状况呢，那么有的人呢是因而呢产生的这样子痛苦或者是狂热的情况之下，对于我们所谓的修行人或知道佛法人来讲呢，都不是很好的。那么，但是我们的习气往往是，当我们听到好的事情的时候呢，或者听到任何事情，就会去分别执着。开始对于所听到的事情产生喜欢或不喜欢。当你听到喜欢的事情的时候呢，你会心生欢喜；当你听到你不喜欢、不乐意听的时候呢，你可能会失望，甚至于会悲伤。所以呢，像这个样子的情形呢，我们呢必定要了解说，不能够落入这样子的两端。法王呢又举了一个例子，让我们更容易了解。比如说，当我们天气热的时候呢，那我们会流汗，身体会发痒。有些人呢，对于这种流汗或者发痒的情况非常不喜欢，就觉得呢，开始呢，内心心生抱怨，会觉得说，哎，我实在不喜欢这个地方。当他越钻入牛角尖的时候呢，他就更觉得越痛苦了。那么同样的情形呢，事实上呢，当我们看到一个很好的事情的时候，我们高兴的，那我们会心生高兴，会身体高兴。可是呢，有时候呢，当然是高兴是应该，可是呢，千万不要落入这样的执着。所以痛苦的时候也是要了解说，所有的痛苦呢，它事实上呢也是无常，这些痛苦呢也是刹那之间一直瞬息而变的。就好像在前几天呢，我们在担心说台风要来了，但是现在呢台风已经远离了，所以即使我们这个担心呢也是无常，现在也是不在了。或者是说像有一些人呢，当他呢被东西割到的时候呢，他觉得很痛。如果说你一直在想这个痛，你心里就没有办法忍受。那这个痛苦呢，你一直执着这个痛苦呢，这个痛呢，这个本来是皮肤上的、肉体上的疼痛，会变成你心里，由于你的执着，会变成你心里的痛苦。那么你就觉得这个痛苦呢，好像是已经过于反应过度了。所以说，事实上的疼痛呢，也只是那一刹那。但是呢，如果说你一直在思考那个疼痛钻在牛角尖的时候呢，这个疼痛呢就变成你的苦，那么这个苦呢相形之下呢，你一旦是执着进去的时候，这个苦就会变得更痛苦了。所以说，珠宝法王他在网站上告诉我们的就是呢，不管说我们碰到喜悦的事情，或者是我们碰到痛苦的事情，绝对不要呢落入这样子的两端。那我们如果偏执到这两端的时候呢，对我们自己来说，对于修行来说呢，是不恰当的。那么法王说呢，他看到很多人呢，常常呢是没有办法控制自己的心绪，是从常日让自己呢落入痛苦的这样的状况，所以呢，他也觉得心里非常的难过。对于我们修行来讲呢，一定要八风吹不动。